So hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video we are going over a very important hacking case, and we are going to do an investigation upon the image which we are being given. So I have downloaded the image from the website which is related to the government's forensic related website that is having many of the data sets, and here we have a problem with us, and the scenario is given, and there are some of the encase images and dd images, and there is a note which you can download and check out what are the things or the artifacts given in it. So the scenario here is given is that on this date, that is 29, and in the 2004 year, a Dell CPI notebook computer with the serial number of this was found abandoned along with a wireless PCMCI card and an external homemade 802.11b antenna was also there. Okay, so it seems a bit suspicious, and it is suspected that this computer was used for hacking purposes. Okay, and although it cannot be tied to a hacking suspect, Greg Skedart. Actually, the equals are given just to not to let the web crawlers to search out the name exactly. And Skedart also goes by the online nickname of Mr. Evil, and some of his associates have said that he would park his vehicle within the range of wireless access points, like the public hotspots. He would park his wireless access his computer with the range of all these wireless access points, and then he would try to do the man in the middle attack. Okay, and then intercept the traffic and decode it and try to get the credentials and accounts and passwords and all other things like credit card numbers. Here there is given some of the plenty things like usernames, passwords, etc. Okay, so in these images we have to analyze all those things, and here is another thing given that find any hacking software, evidence of their use, and any data that might have been generated. Okay, so we need to find all those things, and there are list of questions which we have to answer, and there is also an answer page also, but before that we need to look on our own. Okay, and we need to attempt to tie the computer to the suspect, that is Greg Skedart. Okay, so you need to download the encase image. I have also downloaded the encase image, and you can check out the note also, or if you want to download the dd images you can also do that. Just it is the same, and it is the website where I have downloaded this will be given in the link, will be given in the description, and you can download it from there. Okay, so there are two websites, one is for the archive and second is one is the new website, okay, for the government. Okay, so that's the thing, and we will be mainly using Autopsy in this. So Autopsy will be mainly used, and we will know how we can use Autopsy in this. I have already made an file and a case name with the case name of Mr. Evil. Okay, you can see that, and their path is also given. That is an Autopsy file. Okay, so I will open it. So meanwhile it is opening, I want to let you know that I have made already many videos over Autopsy, and which was related to mostly TRYHACKME, and there was the images given to me which I have analyzed. So you can check out those for a basic fundamental development in Autopsy or the investigation. Okay, so that will be your fundamental, and this room will actually covering many of the things. I will show you that. I have copied out the context which is given. So here we see a lot of questions, and these questions will be ranging from getting small things, petty things, and from getting into the whole system also. Okay, so the main use of this image or the investigation is that we need to analyze things, and we need to use our investigation skills. Also we need to get familiar with the Autopsy tool. Okay, so two things are there. We need to get analyze things and we need to use Autopsy. Okay, so let's go. So the first question with us is that what is the image hash? Does the acquisition and verification hash match? Let's see if it matches or not, and let us know that is there a hash or not. I will enter into it, and just let you know, I will let you know that when you are running for the first time this image, then you should run the ingest modules. Ingest modules, if you don't know, there are some of the modules given into Autopsy which let us know about major things of the softwares, of the data sets which are inside of the computer system or the image. So that will make our work very easy, and I will show you how that it will make our work easy. And mainly the thing used here is regripper. Okay, so regripper is actually a registry analyzing tool which will analyze all the registry files and registry values to get our results. Okay, so we will talk about it later, and you can check out the fundamental video which I have already referenced about, and it will help you a lot. Okay, so let's go into this, the ncase file, and here we have the table. You can see there is thumbnail and there is summary. Let's go over summary, and we can get over the file types, how many files are there, what is the share of the files in the all of the hard drive. Next thing, we can know about user activity, then we can analyze things, and recent files are also given, past cases are also given, geolocation is also given, timeline is also given, where we can know that when was the first time the whole computer was being used and what was the last time it was being used. There is an ingest history also which I have run, and you should run also when you are first interacting with this. So here we have in the container section, we have the display name, we have the actual name, we have the device ID, we have the time zone, and we have some of the acquisition details. So the acquisition detail names the case as Greg Skedart, which is the name. Examiner name is also given, serial number is also given, and hard drive serial number is also given, acquired date is also given, and acquired operating system is also given. So many of the things are being answered here. I will show you how. And there is an MD5 hash which is given, and this is the hash which you need to answer. So our answer for the first question is this. I will just copy it. Let's see if we can copy it or not. Let's see if there is anywhere. There is a property section and there is the metadata. Here we can copy it. So I'm just showing you that how I am trying to answer all these. So the first answer to us is this. The hash is here, and here we found out the acquisition hash. So how we can identify it, that whether it is the verified hash or not. So you can check out the main data source, that is the summary. Here we found out that the MD5 hash is this, and the metadata actually shows you the actual acquisition hash. Okay, so that's the thing. But it may occur that it is sometime confused, that whether it is the verified hash or not, or whether it is the acquired hash or not, and I am not also clear about it. So I will let you know that it is some of the ambiguous things, that if we can find it or not, or if we have found the correct value or not. Okay, so that will be some in the air, so we will not bother about it. We will just let us acquire that this hash was there. Okay, and let it clear it out. So the next thing is what operating system was used on the computer. We have already seen it in the summary section. The summary section says that the acquired operating system was Windows XP. So the answer for us is Windows XP. So let's answer it. That is Windows XP. What was the install date? We can find out the install date, and that will be easy thing for us. Let's see how we can do it. So since we know that from the context that the system was acquired on 20th of August 2004, so it will be obvious that the system was installed before that date. So let's see, we will make an intelligent guess or even make us realize that where we can find it. Let's see. So here is the OS accounts. So here is the OS account section where we can find the creation times. Okay, so it will give us a hint that the first of the earlier the account was made, the more likely it is to be the install date. You understand this, that earlier the account was made, the earlier would be the install date. Okay, and it is more likely that it will be the install date, and most of these accounts we see that the creation time is 19th of July 2004, and it is very obvious that the date would be the creation time or the install date of the system. So that will be our answer, and it is more likely to be an intelligent guess. Why? Because I don't think that we can find the exact date. If we could find it, we would have it in the summary. Okay, so we would have it in the summary, although there may be some of the other methodologies that you can find it, but since I am not capable in this, but I can make a simple guess. So let's move on to the next question. What is the time zone settings? We have already found it. The time zone was, if you see in the summary, in the container section, the time zone was America, Los Angeles. So that will be our answer. So let us be it. So the next question is, who is the registered owner? So let us find out who is the registered owner, and there is a section called operating system information. Here you see, and these all sections are made only when you run ingest modules. That's why running ingest modules are necessary. It is necessary because it makes our work easy and it analyzes things by itself. So we get into the operating system information, and we get to know that the name of the computer is this, the version is this, process architecture is this, and the temporary file directory is this, and the data source is there, and the owner name is given as Greg Skedart. So the owner name is here with us. So registered owner becomes Greg Skedart, and that's the correct answer for us. The next is the computer account name, and we have already found it that the computer account name is given as this, n dash that whatever it is, we will just copy it, and I'm just showing you here the methodology, how you can use your investigation skills just to find out that whatever the artifacts, how you can tie all those things back to a suspect. Okay, and the next name is also the next question is also there, that says that what is the primary domain name. It will be the same thing. It will be the same thing. How you will, I will let you know. The name is here, and the domain name actually becomes the same name. Okay, so we don't have any domain here, we just have a blank thing. You can get it to the source file metadata, and you can see some of the things like MD5 hash, which is actually not calculated. Okay, and from the sleuth kit, which is actually the Autopsy's owner, or the main company which makes Autopsy, has some of the tools run by it, and it says about the time zone also, which will help you. And the thing is, we don't have any clue about the domain name, so the same name becomes the domain name also, primary domain name also. So the same answer will be repeated here. So the next thing is, when was the last recorded computer shutdown date / time? So we need to find about the last recorded computer shutdown date or time. I will just let it be in the air and we will answer it after some time. Okay, so I will just show you some of the questions. So the next question is, how many accounts are recorded? Total number. So let's see how many accounts are there. OS accounts, we get into the OS accounts, and there are some of the accounts where, as we can see, that is, there is Mr. Evil, which was created on this time. Next is administrator, and all three accounts, these are not created and these are for the system only. These accounts are used by system which are necessary. Okay, so you cannot delete or remove the accounts, and it will be always with the system. So the next account is administrator, which was created on this date. The next is support, then it is guest, and there it is help assistant. And if we get into these accounts, we will know that Mr. Evil, with the name of Mr. Evil, we will have an address of this, and creation time is this, and the last login is also given to us. So it means that whoever was there in the last session of this computer will have a certain last login attempt with the time also and with the date also, and the login count is also there, and we can know that whether Mr. Evil was administrator of the system or not, and that value is given as true. That means the Mr. Evil was a administrator of the computer. Okay, so that's the thing. Next we can see the other accounts. Actually this is a special Windows account, as you can see, that is the local service. Another is network service, it is also a special Windows account, and there is system profile, which is also the same. Next comes the administrator, which is actually the administrator, normal administrator account, and it is also present in every computer. The next comes the support account, which has a full name of this, and account is actually disabled. Okay, the next is guest account, which is a normal user account, which is also present in almost all of the computers. For the guest access, that simple access. The next is help assistant, which has a login count of 0, and it is for providing remote assistance. The description is given here. Okay, and it is not an administrator, we have no clue about it. Okay, so main suspect here comes Mr. Evil, because it is the only suspecting account which has a login count of 15, and most of the login are about 0 for the administrator, for the support and other accounts. Only Mr. Evil has 15 login counts, and the last login attempt was this on 27 July. Okay, so that's the date and time also. The next thing we need to know is that how many accounts are there. So it becomes only 5 accounts: Mr. Evil, administrator, support, guest, helper assistant, and all the 3 accounts which are given here, local service, network service, system profile, are actually related to computer or the system. So we need not to acknowledge that. So the total number of accounts is 5. And who is the account, what is the account name of the user who mostly uses the computer? We have already found out, that is Mr. Evil, with the login attempts of 15 times login. I will write it here. Okay, so let's see. Who was the last user to log into the computer? We can compare it. If we want to, we can compare it, but we already know that login count for Mr. Evil was high, and it was the only one with having 15 and all other were having 0. So it is more likely, or it is obvious, that Mr. Evil was the one who logged in into the account last. Okay, we can also mention the date and time, since we are given with the time last login attempt. So the same answer will be repeated here also, Mr. Evil. Okay, so the next thing is a search for the name Greg Skedart. Here we have to ignore the equal values, okay, equal signs, and reveals multiple hits. So if we search for Greg Skedart, it will reveal multiple hits or multiple files. One of these proves that Greg Skedart is Mr. Evil. Okay, so we will tie it up that the suspect and the hacker will be the same one, and is also the administrator of the computer. Okay, what file is it? What software program does this file relate to? So let's first do the search. I will do a keyword search by the name of Greg Skedart. Let's see if we can find something or not. So here we are. So there are some of the files. There is an operating system information artifact. Let's see what this file has. So this file says that program name is Microsoft XP and the date and time is here. Okay, and so in this file I have found actually that Microsoft Windows XP is the program name, and the date and time, which is actually the date and time of installing, is found out. How? You can see that it was the same 19 July 2004 and 15:48:27 PDT. The same date and time you can use in this question, which is saying that what is the install date. If it was given as mention date and time also, then you can do it also. Okay, but it is somehow not given, so we will not bother about it. So the next thing is that we can find out that product ID is this, the owner is this, Greg Skedart, but here is nothing given about Mr. Evil, so we cannot tie it up to Mr. Evil. Okay, that's the thing. And the next file is here, irunin.ini, which says that registered owner is Greg Skedart. Okay, and it is saying that the file are actually installed over Mr. Evil. I will just make it a little more big. Okay, so now you can see it correctly. So it is a configuration file, irunin.ini, which says about all those things. It seems that it is related to a program called lookatlan. Okay, and lookatlan is actually normally used in computers which are used for hacking purposes, and it leads to traffic interception also, and some of the things related to network. Okay, so it is saying about the install date and other things related to the install conditions. So it has collected many of the things, that what is the host name, what is the host domain name. So from this file we can also realize that the host name is this and the domain name is this. So this whole thing makes us realize that the domain name or the name of the computer account is this and the primary domain name is this. That means the same. So this actually verifies that our answer is actually correct for the 6th and 7th question. Okay, so we can find it out in many ways, so there is no one way. Okay, so even if you are just doing having the same answer by other means or by other method. Don't be anything like your method is wrong or my method is wrong. There is nothing like that. Okay, we can have the same answer by any of the methods or any of the techniques. So it is saying about that LAN user is Mr. Evil. It is already saying that LAN user is Mr. Evil, and we will see that the registered owner is Greg Skedart. Registered owner here means that who has registered about look at LAN. That is the program. So for this program, Greg Skedart has actually registered. It is saying here Greg Skedart has registered, and the user here is Mr. Evil. That means that we have the same name, the same person who is Mr. Evil is the same person who is Greg Skedart. Okay, so that means it is this file only, irunin.ini, and it ties up to look at LAN. Okay, so that's our answer. I will just write it here, that irunin.ini, that is a configuration file relates to look at LAN. Okay, so that answers our question, that which software was there. Next, the thing is, list the network cards used by this computer. We will get into this soon. I will leave it for some time and we will answer it. And I will say, I will tell you that what are all the methods you can use to find out that. But let's move on to the 14th question, that says that this same file reports the IP address and MAC address of the computer. What are they? The same file, that means the irunin.ini, actually reports the IP address and MAC address of the computer. Let's see if it reports or not. Here we see that LAN IP is given as 192.168.1.111. Okay, and LAN NIC is also given, that is the MAC address actually. So we can copy it. We can copy the whole thing actually. So the answer for us is this. The IP is here and the NIC is here. Okay, so an internet search for the vendor name / model of NIC cards by MAC address can be used to find out which network interface was used. Okay, so we can find out that which network interface was actually used. Okay, and in the above answer, the first 3 hex characters of the MAC address report the vendor of the card. Which NIC card was used during the installation and setup of look at LAN? That means this question actually says about that which NIC card was used during the installation of look at LAN. So the information would be given in the irunin.ini file only. So we will have to search it in here and see if we can find it or not. And the other thing here given is that we can search out with the MAC address we have found with just this 3 hex characters. We can search out that which company it relates to. I have already found out, and you can just make a internet search and you can find out that the company was Zircom. Okay, so Zircom was the company. And the next thing is that we need to know that which NIC card was used during the installation and setup of look at LAN. Let's see in this file if we can find it or not. The registered owner is here given, the font is given here, all other things are given, the URL for the system is also given, and there are some of the instructions. So I don't think if we can find here it or not. Username is also given, that is Greg Skedart, which actually again verifies that we have answered the same, or which proves again the same thing, that Greg Skedart is Mr. Evil. So it solidates the fact that the suspect we are going before is the correct suspect. Okay, let's see another thing. I don't think we can find it here. If we cannot find it here, we have just find out that Zircom was the actually vendor, and the NIC card information is actually not given in the INI file. So we will take it out for the next time, but before that, let's see out the next question, and I will answer all these questions which I have left deliberately in some other time or in the next video, because this video will be becoming a long one, and the next video will cover more of the questions. As you can see, there are 31 questions, a lot. Okay, and I will be ending it with the last question, that is find 6 installed programs that may be used for hacking. Okay, so we need to get into here, and I will cut it off the keyword search. So as I have already run the ingest modules, so I can see that there is a section called run programs. So it has some of the programs which have it has the list of the programs which are inside the system, and there is also one section which is saying that installed programs, and the number is 32. So 32 programs are installed in actually the computer. So we can either go in this where we can find installed programs, or if we want to find the whole number of programs which are on all the system, which are not even installed but on which are having a setup file on the system, then we can find it. But in this question we are trying to find only the installed programs, then we need to go to the installed program section. Let's see if we can find it or not. I don't see anything here. What's happening? Okay, so there's some problem, I think. So I think there's some problem here. So the thing is, even if there is a problem, I will let you know that we just need to get into this install program list, and we will have a list over about all of the programs which are related to the system, and we can just find out which all programs are actually related to hacking. Okay, and these knowledges, these simple knowledges we have used all those hacking programs, and we can find out it easily. I will show it all in the next video. I think there is an error here, but we will do it better in the next video, and the next video will be covering all these left out questions from 16th to 31, and all the questions which have deliberately left, like 8 and some of the other questions, and we will find out that we can exactly tie up the suspect with the hacker. Okay, so this was all for this video, and we will meet for the next time, and thank you for this. Goodbye.